Hey everybody, it's Ecap here, and in this video we have the official patch notes for patch 11.2. I haven't done one of these in a while. What I normally do is I just go through the patch notes. It takes a little bit. I give my commentary on what everything is. I don't normally go through all the individual class changes that are going to be coming up because I am pretty much only an expert on Rat Paladin, so I do go through those, and then just kind of go through my wow, that's a lot of changes for this class. Maybe you should read this. I can put the link below, but it's just on. You can get this on Wowhead. You can get it on the Blizzard website. It's very available. So 11.2 is called Ghost of Koresh. So campaign continues as more pieces of troubling puzzle fall into place with the release of this content update. Players will be able to immerse themselves in the War Within story as it leads up to the next chapter of the World Soul Saga, Midnight. There's some unfinished business to be had on Koresh. So Koresh is the ethereal land, and specter of an old enemy looms large. Forces with ill intent are determined to bring forth Demencius, the all-devouring, once more to finish off the ethereals. Should he arise, Azeroth will also be in peril from the dangerous Voidlord. So explore the Shadow World of Koresh. This is funny. This is the still image that I use for the background for my 11.2 This Week in WoW videos. Home of the Ethereals, Koresh was once a vibrant world, but now it only exists as a fragmented void touched. Okay, just storyline stuff. Return to Tazavesh, Veil Market. So if you don't know, you haven't been keeping up at all, Tazavesh is coming back because it's like an ethereal or broker themed dungeon. So not just the dungeon though. So this part you might not know, but Tazavesh, the Veil Market, has been brought from the Shadowlands to serve as a home base for adventures. It's also going to be like the home city for this place. Glowing, glimmering shields of energy protect the city. Once inside the market, the vendors find vendors, more quests and portals, or even portals to each of the 4 daily active bountiful delves, so you can get to the delves really easy. Coalition of broker cartels and ethereals formed to accomplish an impossible goal: save their destroyed world from the all-devouring. The Koresh Trust is the 7th major faction of the War Within, and based out of Tazavesh, located at what remains of Koresh. So the Reshi wraps upgradable artifacts. So we have like these legendary cloaks or whatever. You know, we've had these before in the game. Basically, you just power this up and you so it gives you player power, right? But there's also this thing called phase diving, which is kind of interesting. They can be used to transform into an energy form much like ethereals to interact with the world in a new way. Use these wraps to take on a new type of content, phase diving, as well as use them in Manaforge Omega Raid, the open world delves, and more. Reshi wraps will upgrade and scale with you, including new visuals as you progress through the content. Enter untethered space by using Reshi wraps to experience a whole new aspect of Koresh. You'll experience new creatures, objectives, world class, and some new mechanics with all within this overlay of the world. You expect to see anything you normally would in the world, such as treasures, rare creatures, or objects, but there will be also some unique opportunities to find, such as warrants apparently. Aid the Constable of Tazavesh by hunting down notorious monsters for fun and profit. So it's like a different phase, an optional phase that you can go into and do more stuff. I'm sure there's achievements and other stuff behind it as well. From what I understand, you can also, like, the delves change as well with the when you use this to go phase diving or whatever. So kind of like how we had overcharged delves, we kind of have like these phase dived delves in a sense. It's not that there's a belt or something to it, but something like that. We also have this ecological succession. Help Venari bring life back to Koresh with her eco domes. So these are like eco domes from Nether Storm in the Burning Crusade. You'll help fill them with creatures that thrive within the ecosystem. You'll scour previously traveled zones to bring back animals to live within the ecodomes and aid them adjusting to life on Koresh. It's up to you to help transform this barren ecodome ecodome into one filled with life and promise for a new future. Then we have the Manaforge Omega Raid. There's Demencius. He is huge. If you haven't seen yet, he is like bigger than Stormwind. Not like bigger than a building. He's like bigger than Stormwind. He's giant. The raid bosses: Plexus Sentinel, Lumathar, Soulbinder Nazandi, Forge Weaver Araz, the Soul Hunters, Fractalus, Nexus King Salhadar, and Demencius the All-Devouring. Those bold enough to vanquish Demencius the All-Devouring will earn the prestigious Royal Void Wing on heroic difficulty. So that's the AOTC mount, looks like. And for those who conquer on Mythic, the elusive Unbound Star Eater awaits. And then, so I'm assuming this bottom one is the Cutting Edge mount. Definitely will not be getting that this tier, unfortunately for myself. Manaforge Omega will also have a raid renown track called the Manaforge Vandal, similar to the Glacial Loyalty Rewards Club, filled with rewards like Bow and Freezer mount, and buffs to use once inside the raid. Ecological dungeon. We have a new dungeon here. I have done this a few times. It's a fun enough dungeon. It's pretty short, which a lot of people tend to like. So there's nothing special about it. There's nothing epic about it, but it's a nice little dungeon. And then new dungeon pool. So the dungeon pools are Akara is back, Dawnbreaker is back, Ecological, the new one. Halls of Atonement is back from Shadowlands. Operation Floodgate from last season. Priory is here still. And then the Tazavesh Streets of Wonder and the Tazavesh Celia's Gambit. If you remember at the beginning, you have this gigantic Murloc pull that you can do. So I am looking forward to that. Starting the week of August 12th, Tazavesh will also return as a full hard mode mega dungeon and will count as a mythic plus 10 once a week in the Great Vault. Okay, so that's interesting for people. So you could do it on hard mode and still get a plus 10. The Mega Dungeon replaces Mythic 0 difficulty for the season for both Tazavesh dungeons. It can be accessed by entering Tazavesh instance with all players in the party interacting with Adali near the dungeon entrance to confirm they're ready to proceed. All bosses have a chance to drop hero track loot, and completing the Mega Dungeon will also grant players 30 Gilded Crests. So this is a great way for a group of people who are kind of casual to get some Gilded and some pretty decent loot. And the hard mode wasn't that bad, from what I remember doing it in Shadowlands. The new delve is the Archival Assault, found within the Azure Vaults in the Dragon Isles, which is kind of interesting, right? We go back to the Dragon Isles for this. I like that. Unfinished business with Princess Kaiveza as well, as you take her on one of this season's nemesis. So we had, I can't remember. We had the goblin guy in the mechanized thing, and we had the big demon guy in season 1, and now we have Princess Kaiveza coming back again. Along the Delver's journey progression, unlock customizations for your Delver's Mana Skimmer, the newest Delve mount, attainable in Season 3, and 2 new toys, the Delver's Mana-bound Aethergate, and a portal to return the Explorers League home base in Dornival, and Etheric Brain Morpher summons an Ethereal Transmorpher that can change your appearance. So that's what the new mount looks like. New world boss, Reshinar, the Untethered. The Ethereals of Kresh witness the destructive maw of the void after Dementis' attack, and believe Reshinar has manifested as their eternal punishment, for it comes back around to keep eating them and their planet as he grows infinitely bigger over the years. So just a big old void dragon. Season 3 class sets, we can kind of look at these. Death Knight, Warlock, and Rogue. Warlock looks cool. Paladin, Demon Hunter, Druid. Paladin one looks fine, especially the Mythic one looks a little bit nicer. Actually, I think it might be the normal or LFR one looks the best on Paladin. Hunter, Priest, Warrior for here. The Warrior one looks really nice in my opinion. Shaman, Evoker, Mage, Monk. Mage looks pretty good in my opinion. Season 3 PvP, that's the Gladiator mount. New PvP ladder. I don't think the title is Astral Gladiator, Astral Legend for Rated, Astral Marshal for Blitz, Astral Warlord is the Horde. New Weapon Illusion Arcane, so just nothing special there, unfortunately. That's just kind of normal. Several PvP talents are updated as well. Here's the schedule, which is kind of probably pertinent to a lot of people. So when it comes active next week, or on Tuesday, chapters 1 through 3 are open, so you can do the campaign. Season 3, normal dungeons, heroic, and mythic 0, excluding Tazavesh, because it's a mythic plus 10, basically, level. The new world boss is ready. All delve tiers are available, excluding the bountiful, so you can't get the highest gear. And Great Vault credit begins, so you can have something in your vault for the first week, even though it won't be that great. Week of August 12th, that's when Chapter 4 opens up, the War Within Epilogue, so it's like the final story of War Within before we start the story of Midnight. The Raid Season 3 begins, Manaforge. Mythic Plus Season 3 begins. The Season 3 PvP begins. Delver's Journey Season 3, Bountiful Delves and Keys, Challenge Boss, new levels, and Curios for Brand. Great Vault rewards become available. Week of August 19th, Manaforge Omega Raid. The Raid Fighter Wing 2 opens up, and then finally the final Raid Fighter Wing opens up on August 26th. So these are all the class changes. There are a ton of changes for a lot of classes. Death Knights have a ton of changes, especially Frost. Unholy has a lot too. Druid has a good amount of changes. I mostly just kind of go through and say which ones have a lot of changes because you probably want to look into. I know Hunter has a ton of changes that you'll probably want to look into if you play Hunter. Mage, good amount of changes as always they do. Paladin, not that many. Mostly just a bunch of buffs for Ret because Ret was so bad. Priest, let's see. A lot of changes for Shadow Priest. Looks like almost a rework there. Rogue, decent, but not that many. Warlock, lots of changes for Warlock. They kind of always get that as well. Looks like a lot of changes for Protection Warrior in particular there. Delver's race has begun. Horde Alliance compete head-to-head. Which faction can complete the most delves in Season 3? The faction that reaches the goal first will have their faction's banner planted permanently in Tornagal's Delver's headquarters. Okay, guys. All right, fellow Alliance players. Let's pound some delves here. Added new stories to the following delves: Side Street Stews, Excavation Site 9, Kriegel's Rest, and Fungal Folly. The Sinkhole and Taco Abyss are no longer underwater. Thank goodness. I complained about this before. It's rough. They're so much harder than all the other ones because of that. New delve trinket rotation as well. Mythic Plus. You can now vote to abandon Mythic Plus key after the key is socketed. Players who leave runs before completion timer end or successful vote to abandon will eventually be marked as Keystone Deserter. This pops up very prominently. You don't want to get this mark on you. Valor Stones no longer reset upon the start of the season and can no longer be transferred. Oh, you can't transfer them. Mastery scaling of Cersei Circlet, Fathom Dollars Rune Citron reduced by 50%. So they really do not want you using the Cersei Circlet still. Fixed an issue caused Legacy Loot Mode to be enabled. Okay, player versus player changes. Anything big here? Status of tanks and PvP. I'm not going to go through all the class changes. I'll look at... There's nothing for Ret Paladin, so that doesn't matter for me at all. Professions, new stuff for professions. Inscription, Alchemy, some new tailoring stuff as well. This is for the Reshi wraps. You can add haste, verse, mastery, or crit to your Reshi wraps as well. User interface stuff. The bank update, that's a big update that's coming. I did a video on that. Basically, they're getting rid of the tab for materials, and just everybody's bank just gets a bunch of tabs now, and you just have lots of bank room now. And they got rid of void storage as well. And it looks like that's the biggest thing for the user interface, just the bank updates. Oh wait, there's the following new cursors have been added or improved in resolution: grabbing hand, inspect, drive, resize. New options to increase text size. Okay, so a few little things there as well. So like always, you know, the patches are usually pretty large. This was no exception to that. We will see how it goes once it gets here. Of course, it'll be a little bit of a new experience for me. I'll be mythic plussing and delving around, and likely not doing too much of raid. Probably will do it on heroic, get AOTC and stuff, but not having my guild for the first time in 7 years. I'll likely not be doing cutting edge unless I get invited to guild as like a token person to come along and get cutting edge or something. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. If you're a subscriber, I encourage you to check out the Patreon. And other than that, everybody have a good one.